Local 1428 in Claremont, California. We are here because there is a safety crisis in retail stores, and employers are not doing their part to keep their workers and their customers safe. Some of the biggest grocery and pharmacy companies in the world, who certainly have the resources to protect their employees, simply aren't doing enough to keep them safe. Grocery stores like Ralph's and pharmacies like Rite Aid don't even track the number of violent incidents that happen in their stores. They don't train their workers on how to protect themselves in an active shooter situation, or what to do if a shoplifter verbally or physically assaults them. We know there are strength in numbers when it comes to violence prevention, but these giant companies are getting away with leaving their stores understaffed. And even worse, they have policies that require untrained workers to put themselves in harm's way, encouraging them to confront potentially violent shoplifters. Given the recent spike in violence at retail stores, it makes less sense than ever to force untrained retail workers to act as security personnel. Responding to active shooters, approaching shoplifters, intervening in potentially dangerous situations are all jobs for highly trained security, not the workers standing with me today. But when dangerous situations do arise, workers should be trained on how to respond. Video trainings are not enough. Your employees need in-person training by professionals who understand the trauma so many workers have experienced on the job. Witnessing, experiencing, and responding to verbal and physical assaults in the workplace is just another ordinary day at work for so many. But it doesn't have to be that way. SB 553 puts the responsibility back on employers to make sure their stores and the people who work and shop there are safe. Workers should not be terrified to go to work, wondering if today is the day they'll become the victim of an active shooter or violent shoplifter, or have to suffer from someone verbally abusing them. It is time for lawmakers to prioritize worker safety and the safety of their constituents by passing SB 553. So now I would like to introduce you to Gloria Gutierrez, a worker from a Rite Aid store in South Los Angeles. Gloria, please join us.
Woo! Good morning, everyone. My name is Gloria Gutierrez, and some people know me by Gigi. I work for Rite Aid 5451 South Central Los Angeles, a very dangerous place to work at. I'm here today supporting my co-workers so that laws can be changed, so we can feel safe at work when we come to work. I don't need to be in fear when I wake up in the morning and I have to go to work wondering, am I gonna be back today? What's gonna happen today? Am I gonna get assaulted again? In May 13 of this year, I was assaulted by 3 individuals while at work, while helping them, while giving customer service. So my thing is, I'm giving customer service, but my life is being put at jeopardy right here for giving customer service, for trying to do what I'm supposed to do. And then my family doesn't know what goes on the store. I'm over here at the store and they don't know what's going on. They don't know if I'm gonna come back. They don't know if I got assaulted. They don't know if I got hit. And it's very, very frustrating to see the things that go in the store, and our employers don't care. They don't care about their employees. All they care about is the money that they can put in their pockets. They already have enough money. I think that they can spend some of that money that they have to give us security in the store for us to feel safe. We don't need to feel fearful every time we come into the store and work. I want to come to work and I want to feel free of fear. I want to do my job the best way that I know how. But how am I supposed to do it when I'm feeling fear? I don't know what's going to go on the next day, the next hour. People come in the stores, they walk out with merchandise, and they look at us like we're stupid, like we don't know, like we're not supposed to do anything, We just look at them, because I'm not going to be putting my life in jeopardy because of these companies that don't want to hire security guards so they can guard their stocks, you know? So I don't think that's my job to be, you know, after the merchandise, trying to get it back from the customers or the shoplifters. We get a lot of that in our store, and it's ridiculous. And then what do the companies do? They turn around, they say, oh, it's employees. You know, we're gonna start interviewing the employees because this high shrink that we got is because employees are stealing. We're not stealing. I am not stealing. I have been working for Rite Aid for 42 years, and I don't need to steal a penny from them. Everything that I get, I earn it. I earn it with my sweat, with my hard work that I give them, because every day that I'm there, I give them my 100%. And I want them to give me something back. Give me my security, please, Rite Aid. Please, these people that do laws, okay? We want SB 553 to pass, okay? So we can be safe at workplace. This is pharmacy, retail stores, food stores, you know, we need our safety, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria. It only shows that it's important to hear from workers who will be directly impacted by this bill, as Gloria just showed us. So now I'd like to introduce you to Juana Rodriguez, a worker from Rite Aid in Glassell Park. So Juana is going to give her comments in Spanish, and the interpreter will come up after and give them in English. Thank you. Juana.
Buenos días a todos. Mi nombre
Thank you. Sí se oye, no te preocupes.
Okay.
Go.
Buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Juana Rodríguez. Trabajo en Rite Aid. Llevo 34 años de servicio y orgullosamente soy delegada de la Unión UFCW Local 770. El día de hoy estoy aquí para exhortar a los legisladores de California que pasen la propuesta de ley SB 553 para que todos los trabajadores y el público en general sean protegidos. Necesitamos que esta propuesta se convierta en ley como parte de las soluciones anti la violencia de los lugares de trabajo en la industria de las tiendas de venta al menudeo. Yo trabajo en la tienda Rite Aid de Glassell Park, donde hace 2 años, el 15 de julio del 2021, mi compañero de trabajo, Miguel Núñez Peñalosa, fue asesinado mientras trabajaba. A él le disparó un ladrón que se metió a la tienda a robar cerveza. La mayor parte del tiempo nosotros trabajamos con poco personal. La noche que mataron a Miguel solo había 3 trabajadores. Hasta el día de hoy solo hay 2 empleados en mi tienda usualmente. Las compañías deberían cambiar esto y tener suficiente. Cuando mi compañero de trabajo fue asesinado, la tienda tenía guardia de seguridad. No tenía guardia de seguridad y solo había una cámara de seguridad. A los trabajadores no se nos debería pedir dirigirnos a sospechosos. A nosotros no se nos da un entrenamiento adecuado para enfrentar situaciones de violencia en el trabajo. El único entrenamiento que nos dan coincide en ver un video general en lugar de tener un entrenamiento en persona. Después del incidente que acabó con la vida de mi compañero de trabajo, muchos empleados quedaron con trauma y muchos de ellos se fueron de mi tienda porque sentían que sus vidas estaban en peligro. En ese tiempo la compañía ofreció unas sesiones de salud mental, pero yo necesitaba más asistencia. Entonces yo pagué mi propia terapia para poder superar el trauma. Hay días que aún siento síntomas de estrés postraumático por lo que pasó en mi tienda. Miguel era una persona muy amable y trabajadora. No debieron quitarle la vida. Esto no ha sido el único incidente en mi tienda. Unos meses antes de la muerte de Miguel, yo estaba en la caja registradora cuando un joven entró corriendo a la tienda tratando de esconderse detrás de mí. 2 hombres entraron persiguiéndolo, tratando de golpearlo y luego salieron. Esa fue una experiencia de mucho miedo. Yo reporté el incidente a la gerencia, pero se hizo muy poco para proteger a los trabajadores y clientes. Los trabajadores no deberíamos arriesgar nuestras vidas mientras tratamos de ganarnos la vida, y los consumidores tampoco. Deberían arriesgar su vida cuando ellos vienen a comprar a nuestras tiendas. La propuesta de ley del Senado, SB 553, es un paso en la dirección correcta para adoptar protecciones para los trabajadores en sus lugares de trabajo y también ayudar a los clientes que hagan sus compras de manera segura en nuestras tiendas. Yo le pido a los legisladores, por favor, voten sí en la propuesta del Senado SB 553. Gracias.
Good morning, my name is Darlene Intunza. I'll be translating for Juana Rodriguez. Good morning, everyone. My name is Juana Rodriguez. I am a Rite Aid worker with 34 years of service and a proud UFCW Local 770's shop steward. I'm here today to urge California lawmakers to pass SB 553 so all California workers and the public are protected. We need this bill to become law as part of the solutions to workplace violence in retail businesses. I work at the Glassell Park Rite Aid, where 2 years ago, on July 15, 2021, my coworker Miguel Núñez Peñalosa was murdered while he was working. He was shot by a shoplifter who came into the store to steal beer. We often work understaffed. The night of Miguel's murder, there were only 3 workers in the store. To this day, there's only 2 workers in my store most of the time. The company should do better and have sufficient staffing. When my coworker was killed, the store didn't have a security guard and there was only 1 security camera. Workers should not be required to approach suspected shoplifters. We are not trained adequately to handle situations of workplace violence. The only training we get consists of watching a vague video instead of having an in-person training. After the incident that took away my coworker's life, many employees got traumatized, and most of them quit because they felt their lives were in danger. At that time, the company offered a few sessions of mental health counseling, but I needed more assistance, so I paid for my own therapy to be able to cope with the trauma. And there's days when I still feel PTSD symptoms because of what happened at my store. Miguel was a very kind and hardworking person, and he should not have died like that. And this was not the only incident at my store. One time, a few months before Miguel's death, I was working at the cash register when a young man rushed into the store trying to hide behind me. 2 men were chasing him, trying to beat him up. That was a terrifying experience. I did report the incident to management, but little was done to protect workers and customers. Unfortunately, similar incidents are happening more frequently in the retail industry. Workers should not risk their lives while working to earn a living, and customers should not risk their lives when they come to shop at our stores. Senate Bill 553 is a step in the right direction to adopt protections for workers on the job, and it will also help customers shop safely in our stores. I call on legislators to please vote yes on Senate Bill 553. Thank you.
Thank you, Juana, for that moving story. One worker losing their life is a tragedy and speaks to why all legislators should support this legislation. On a personal level, it was very moving to hear about Miguel. And I think that we can all, in solidarity, that Miguel may have been a member of 770, but he was a member of our UFCW family. And knowing that we are all here advocating for this legislation means that we are doing it in Miguel's name. So thank you all for being here. Now I want to introduce you to Brian Baxley, a worker from Albertsons in La Mirada. Brian.
Hi, my name is Brian Baxley. I work at Albertsons La Mirada. I'm a member of UFCW 324. At the stores, I'm a produce manager. We have to deal with this on a daily basis. In our company's policy is to just basically customer service, which is walk up, say hi, how you doing, do you need any help? In one of my experiences, I walked up on a guy, he was filling bags up with product and he had a gun in his waistband. I immediately walked away, called the police, but our company policy is to not call the police, is to call our loss prevention first. We have people filling up cartloads of liquor. We have people filling up duffel bags of medicines, and we're supposed to just call LP first as they walk out the door, whether we know that they've come in 1,000 times or not. And then we have our customers trying to interfere with us, also putting themselves in harm's way. It's a daily occurrence. We have the homeless barricading themselves in our restrooms, not wanting to leave, spitting on us, threatening us also. So every day at our store, it's a different mix of peril that we're put into. So I hope you support this SB 553 and support us. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Workplace violence doesn't just affect one industry. It is all around us every day and shows us why this bill is critical to be passed. Now I introduce you to my good friend, Kathy Finn, president of USCW 770. Kathy.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. Unfortunately, the incident that Juana described and the other incidents you're hearing about today are not one-offs. They happen all the time. As president of Local 770, I hear, on a very regular basis about an incident that happened over here, another one over there. They're happening everywhere. And these workers who work at grocery stores and drugstores, they've been on the front lines now for over 3 years. And violent incidents seem to increase with the pandemic, but they haven't, while the pandemic has lessened to some extent, the violent incidents have not. They've stayed and they're continuing to happen. And our members need, first of all, the training. And I just want to say, after a lot of these incidents happen, we have heard reports many times that the only person in the store that knew what to do when some crisis incident occurred was a 16 or 17-year-old, because they had gotten active shooter training at school. So schools are doing this regularly, and it's the youngest kids who work at our markets and at our drugstores who are the only ones that actually have some training and know what to do. And that in and of itself is a tragedy. Everyone who works in these stores should have training, because if that kid doesn't happen to be there that day, there's nobody who's been trained. So that's one thing. And another thing that folks have mentioned, the requirement to approach shoplifters. We have talked to many of our members who feel an obligation to their employer. And it does say in many of their employee handbooks, if you suspect someone of shoplifting, approach them and provide them customer service, which means to go up to them and say, how can I help you? Well, most of these people don't want to be helped, and many of them react violently towards our members. We've had a number of incidents where members have gotten into violent conflict with somebody simply because they've asked them, how can I help you, when they suspected them of stealing. So these are very simple things that we're trying to change, that we're trying to require. And frankly, our employers should be standing here with us, supporting this bill to ensure that this industry is a safe place for customers and workers. So thank you all for being here. And we ask the legislature, the state of California, to get this bill out of committee, get it on the floor, and vote for it so it can get passed and we can get these safety measures in place as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. It's very clear that policies in the workplace need to change to make sure that the safety of workers and customers is a priority. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Andres Molina, the Executive Director of the Los Angeles Democratic Party. Andres.
Good morning. Let's give it up for workers. Let's give it up for labor. Let's give it up for the hot labor summer we've been having. Once again, my name is Andres Molina. I'm the Executive Director of the Los Angeles County Democratic Party. I'm here on behalf of our party's Labor Committee, who this week unanimously voted to support SB 553 and to recommend that our party continue to stand with workers. And in September, our full body will be taking this up for consideration. But there's no doubt that this work can't be done alone. It takes people power. From our party members to our labor family, all of the incredible supporters that we have here today, I want to take a moment to highlight a man who wears many hats. One of our own, one of your own, Mark Ramos. He is not only president of Local 1428, but he's also an LACDP Labor Committee co-chair. And I can't say enough about the incredible work that Mark and all of the UFCW locals have been doing up and down the state, making sure that from our grocery workers to our chemical workers, that they have a livable wage, that they have the ability to support themselves and their loved ones, save for a rainy day, and work in a clean and safe environment. Whether it's protection from the physical or environmental demands of the job, or from the person right next to you. That's why we as Democrats will always denounce all violence in all its forms, because our party works hard every single day to ensure that everyone is afforded equal and equitable opportunities. We fight for the voiceless, and we oppose all forms of discrimination and harassment. Much like our labor family, Democrats walk the walk. So much so that I'm proud to say that the Los Angeles County Democratic Party was one of the first, if not the first, county central committee to institute a policy on workplace violence in 2017. To my labor family, thank you for all your work in protecting the people and for fighting for the people. Thank you.
Thank you, Andreas. And Andreas is right. This is not just about the workers. This is about our community. So it's essential to have community support with us to pass this essential worker protection bill. Now I want to introduce Amanda. I know. Amardeep Gill, the Director of Grocery and Retail Campaigns for the Los Angeles Alliance for a New Economy. Lane. Amardeep.
Hi, as Mark said, I'm with the LA Alliance for a New Economy and the Fair Work Week LA Coalition, which includes community members from throughout LA County. And we are also customers of stores like Rite Aid. Retail businesses, including grocery and drug corporations, are expected to do their part in keeping grocery stores and pharmacies safe. These stores are centerpieces of our communities. Customers should not risk their lives when they go grocery shopping. When they go buy food for their children, they should not be witness to murder or even becoming a victim when they pick up medications for their basic necessities. We urge legislators to pass SB 553 to protect workers and the community. As our state leaders, you must act now.
Thank you, Amardeep. It's moving to see so many people stand with working people to ensure they're safe at work. So, in conclusion, I would like to say that no worker should have to go to work worried that they may not come home. That these workers dedicate their lives to their customers and their company should show them the same dedication. And it's really easy. And that dedication should be in the form of keeping them safe. So thank you. If you have any questions, we're here to answer. Thank you.
Safety first.
Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first. Safety Safety first. 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 Safety first.
Pass 553. Thank you.
Good.